The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Pauline Verzosa. The Marcos administration will allow former President Rodrigo Duterte to surrender to the International Criminal Court, or ICC. This as Duterte challenged the ICC to start investigating him about his bloody war on drugs campaign during his term. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin said the government will neither object nor block him from surrendering to the jurisdiction of the ICC. Bersamin also opened the possibility of the Interpol issuing a red notice to arrest Duterte. Now, if this happens, the Marcos administration will honor Interpol's request. President Bongbong Marcos has previously reiterated that the Philippines will not go back to the ICC. Recall that Duterte withdrew the country from the ICC as the International Tribunal started collecting information about his drug war. Now, ACT Teachers representative Franz Castro believes former President Rodrigo Duterte made incriminating statements during the House Quad Committee hearing. Here's an excerpt from her interview on The Big Story.
And what stood out for you?
Well, kami naman ay natuwa at dumating siya for how many notices, even in the previous committee hearings in the human rights. We've been calling her, we've been calling him. Ngayon ay dumating naman siya. So maganda naman at maibigay niya rin yung yung kanyang position on the different statements provided by the previous resource person. So better na makuha talaga natin yung truth.
So you feel like you're getting more answers this time around. He's giving you more details. Kasi yung, for instance, in some of the issues like with the reward money, parang hindi pa rin masyadong clear what the system, what the structure is like. But is it now more clear to you guys over there?
Yes, more or less naman hindi lang din naman siya yung source noong nung ating nung pinagkukuhanan natin ng sagot about the reward system. Kasi hindi lang naman si President Duterte at may iba't ibang mga resource person din. And I mean, nagko-collaborate naman at meron naman siyang pag-amin talaga na meron talagang mga reward.
Over at the Senate hearing, he admitted to having a Davao Death Squad, although he had 3 definitions for that. And also he admitted to urging criminals to fight back, which was a huge revelation. Dito naman po sa House hearing, ano po para sa inyo yung mga pag-amin na nagawa na niya that can help build up a case against the former president?
Yes, yung mga pag-amin niya on yung mga pinapatay niya, Yung sabi ko nga dumami, 30,000 more or less yung biktima ng AJK sa war on drugs. And yet there are not a single of yung mga drug lords, yung mga smugglers, yung mga big fish, yung may mga manufacturer ng shabu. And even yung kanyang kaibigan, close friend, economic manager niya before, na si Michael Yang, na sinasabi ng mga resource person na involved sa drugs, ay hindi naman niya nakasuhan. Pero ito nga, marami siyang mga incriminating statements. Like yung sinabi niya na meron daw siyang inuhulog sa dagat or sa sea, yung mga drug lords, pero hindi naman niya napapangalanan. Pero tingin natin sapat na to, para mismo sa kanya, inaamin niya na wala talagang due process.
Former President Rodrigo Duterte was caught in the act of threatening his staunch critic, Laila De Lima. We can see in this video that a visibly disgruntled Duterte gestured with a clenched fist to the former senator during the House Quad Committee hearing. De Lima was not aware of her seatmate's gesture at the time. She called Duterte a coward for doing that literally behind her back. De Lima also disputed Duterte's drug allegations against her.
I was cleared of all 3 drug cases. I underwent the whole process. Dumaan po ako sa buong proseso kahit mahirap, masakit para sa akin. Kinulong ako ng almost 7 years na hindi na po nila yan mababalikan. dahil sa pagkagalit nung pinaka-mastermind nung pag-persecute sa akin.
Following back-to-back storms here in the Philippines, Filipinos are getting more creative on their own. Now, one inventor even came up with a power board that's not just for water activities but also for rescue operations. At para bigyan ng mukha ang balita, Mobile Journal, Amy Atienza.
Hilig nyo rin ba ang mag-beach? Ang isang device kasi na gawa ng isang Pinoy, hindi lang pang water activity, kundi pwede rin pang rescue kapag may bagyo. Surfing ang hilig ng self-taught engineer na si Kix Menjola. Dahil nga rito, nagkaroon sila ng ideyang gumawa ng remote-operated rescue powerboard. Ang gamit nila rito, paddleboard, waterproof box, at ilang mga baterya. Simple mang tingnan, magagamit naman daw ito sa oras ng kalamidad.
Anywhere na mga malalakas ang alon, malalakas ang current, nag-rely lang tayo sa power ng lifeguard. Kulang yun. So, kaya kami gumawa din ng ganito para makatulong talaga. Hindi lang sa nalulunod, pati sa mga lifeguard.
Kaya raw nitong magkarga ng hanggang 150 kilos ang bigat at humarurot ng hanggang triple sa bilis ng isang swimmer. Kaya angkop daw kahit malakas ang agos ng tubig. Kung hindi naman pang rescue, pwede rin daw itong recreational activity.
Actually, nagpa-build yung may-ari ng resort, tiga Dumaguete siya. Gagamitin niya para dun sa resort niya. So gagamitin niya pang rescue and at the same time, gagamitin niya pang recreational.
Marami na raw local government units at mga resorts sa iba't ibang probinsya ang nagbigay ng interes dito. Pero aminado siyang kinakailangan pa ng mas malaking pondo para sa mass production. Sa hilig din naman niyang mag-invent, hindi raw ito ang unang beses na nakagawa siya ng mga imbensyon. Sumikat na rin siya noon dahil sa ginawa niyang hoverboard. At sa dami nga ng kanyang napagdaanan, ang aral na natutunan niya.
So maglalagay kami ng isa pa dito. All my ideas, it never comes from a single point eh. Parang I might be doing something and then it opens another idea.
Tulad ni Kik, sana ay makagawa tayo ng mga bagay na makatutulong hindi lamang para sa sarili, kundi pati na rin sa ating kapwa. Mobile Journal, Amy Atienza po, hatid ang mukha ng balita.
In the U.S., President-elect Donald Trump announced that billionaire Elon Musk and former presidential aspirant Vivek Ramaswamy will lead the new Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. The new department, however, is not a government agency. The name is also a nod to Musk's favorite cryptocurrency, Dogecoin. Trump said that Musk and Ramaswamy will work outside the government and partner with the Office of Management and Budget to implement structural reforms. It is not yet clear how the organization will exactly operate. Musk was offered the role after playing as one of Trump's major donors during his 2024 presidential campaign. Gumawa ng ingay dati ang kakaibang asin mula sa Bohol na tinatawag na asin tibuo. Pero dahil daw sa matrabahong proseso nito, kumukonti na lang daw ang nagtsatsagang gumawa nito. At para bigyan ng mukha ang balita, Mobile Journal, Evan Tarinque.
It is asin daw kung hindi ka maglalagay ng asin sa mga nilulutong putahe. Pero ang isang klase ng paggawa ng asin sa Bohol ay unti-unti nang nawawala.
Sa unang tingin, akalain ng isang malaking itlog ito. Pero mga paps, ito ang tinatawag na asin tibuok na ginagawa sa Bohol at matatagpuan lamang dito sa Pilipinas. Sikat ito dahil sa kakaibang lasa at anyo nito. Hindi biro ang proseso ng paggawa nito na umaabot ng 4 na buwan. Ang bunot ng nyug palang asin na ginagamit dito, kailangan ibaba ng 3 buwan sa seawater. Saka ito hahatiin at papaapuyan. Ang abo mula rito ang ihahalo sa brine bago lutuin. Dahil sa matrabahong proseso, halos wala na raw nais magpatuloy ng tradisyon. Kulang-kulang 10 na lang daw ang gumagawa ng asin tibuok sa Bohol, kabilang sina Father Chris Manungas. Katuwang din ang ilang pa nilang kaanak na si Nestor Manungas na nangangasiwa sa kanilang asinan.
So in 2010, We created, I built the asinan, rebuilt the asinan with my siblings, and then with Rinante, the son of Nestor. That started the revival of Asintibuok.
Para kina Father Chris, marami mang pagsubok sa paggawa ng asintibuok. Hindi nila ito kayang talikuran dahil pamana na ito ng kanilang mga ninuno.
They were just laughing at me saying, no, we don't want to work on that again. It is very hard work. So they prefer to go to other provinces.
Sa ngayon, kada batch ay nakakagawa sila ng hanggang 200 piraso ng asintibuok na naibebenta ng 800 pesos kada piraso. May pagka-smoky ang lasa at distinct na aroma ang asintibuok.
The asintibuok is not iodized. It cannot be iodized.
Patok ito sa mga chef at influencers na nakakatulong sa industriya ng pag-aasin sa bansa. May mga taga-ibang bansa ring interesado sa asintibuok.
The good thing which is happening right now is maraming mga chef na gumamit. It really helped when there are people who bring it to public.
Hindi lang daw pera ang dahilan kung bakit may ilang patuloy na gumagawa ng asintibuok. Mas mahalaga raw ang pagpapanatili ng tradisyon na minana mula sa kanilang mga ninuno. Bobal Journal, Ivan Taringki po, hatid ang buka ng balita.
And those are the top stories of the hour. I'm Pauline Verzosa. We are One News.